most ultra-rare Washington quarter dollars to look for your pocket change. The following list is a chart of the most expensive Washington quarter dollars. Most of these are auction prices. Several private sale prices over $1 million are not in this list yet. All of the world's most valuable Washington quarter dollars was minted in the United States, though there are a few exceptions. Here's a look at 5 rare Washington quarter dollar that are worth 6 figures or more. The 1970 D Washington quarter is an interesting coin for collectors, particularly for its place in the transition period of U.S. coinage following the elimination of silver from quarters in 1965. While the 1970 D quarter is generally considered common, some errors and high-grade examples can carry notable value. Background: mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Composition: made of a copper-nickel clad, consisting of an inner core of pure copper and an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition has been standard for quarters since the shift away from silver in 1965. Mint state, MS, 1970 D quarters can be more valuable, especially in high grades, MS 65 and above. In grades MS 63 to MS 64, the 1970 D quarter may be worth around $5 to $10. In grades MS 65 to MS 66, the value rises to $20 to $50. MS 67 and above can bring values of $350 or more, but finding a 1970 D quarter in such pristine condition is rare. Error varieties and special features. While there are no major recognized errors for the 1970 D quarter, collectors sometimes find coins with minor errors such as die cracks, off-centering, or double dies. Minor errors can increase the coin's value, often adding $20 to $100 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Double die. There is no widely recognized double die for the 1970 D quarter, but any instance of doubling on this coin, if confirmed by a professional grading service, could significantly increase its value. Collectability. The 1970 D quarter is common and widely accessible, making it a low-cost addition for those collecting by date and mint mark. However, finding well-preserved examples in high mint state grades can be challenging, especially due to the coin's age and the materials used, which are prone to scratches and blemishes. Collectors may seek out high-grade specimens for registry sets or to fill gaps in Washington quarter collections. The 1971 D Washington quarter is a copper-nickel-clad coin struck at the Denver Mint. While it is common in circulated grades, high-grade examples and certain errors can be valuable. Background: mint mark. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. Composition: copper-nickel clad with a core of pure copper and an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same composition used since 1965. MS 63 to MS 64, these coins are worth about $5 to $10. MS 65, the value rises to around $10 to $20. MS 66, coins in this condition can be valued at $5 to $100. MS 67 or higher. At this top grade, a 1971 D quarter may be worth $500 or more, but finding coins in this pristine condition is rare. Errors and varieties. While no major double die or other prominent errors are recognized for the 1971 D quarter, there are some minor varieties and errors that collectors may find interesting. Die cracks, common minor errors that occurred during the minting process. Values depend on the size and location of the die crack but usually range from $50 to $400. Off-center strikes. Coins that are misaligned can be worth $100 to $500, depending on the degree of off-centering. Clipped planchets. A planchet with a clipped edge can be worth $500 to $1,000, based on the size and location of the clip. Collectability. The 1971 D quarter is considered common in circulated grades, so it's typically easy and inexpensive to obtain for a collection. However, collectors who focus on Washington quarters often look for high-grade examples to complete date and mintmark sets, which can be challenging to find for this date. Coins with unusual toning, strong strikes, and excellent luster also attract collectors. The 1971 Washington quarter without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Since the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on quarters at that time, the absence of a mint mark on a 1971 quarter does not indicate an error. This coin is part of the regular copper-nickel clad series that began in 1965, following the removal of silver from quarters. Background of the 1971 no mint mark Washington quarter. Composition: copper-nickel clad, no silver content. Mintage: over 109 million, making it a high mintage coin. Value of the 1971 no mint mark quarter. Because it's a common, high-mintage coin, the 1971 no-mint mark quarter is generally worth its face value in circulated condition. Only uncirculated examples in high-mint state grades have any significant value. MS-63, MS-64, valued at around $5 to $10. MS-65, prices increase slightly, ranging from $10 to $20. MS-66, can be worth $50 to $100 due to its condition rarity. MS-67 or higher, exceptional grades may fetch $500 or more due to the challenge of finding these coins in pristine condition. Errors and varieties for the 1971 no-mint mark quarter. While there are no widely recognized major error varieties for the 1971 quarter, minor errors may occasionally be found. Here are a few types of minor errors that can add value to this coin: die cracks, small cracks on the coin's surface resulting from wear on the die. Minor die cracks may add around $50 to $200. Off-center strikes. These coins show a misalignment due to incorrect positioning during striking, with values between $100 and $500 depending on the extent. Clipped planchet, occurs when part of the coin's edge is missing due to a fault during planchet cutting. These can be valued from $50 to $450. The 1972 D Washington quarter is interesting to collectors, especially when it features notable minting errors. The Denver Mint produced over 311 million quarters in 1972, so regular quarters from this year are generally common. However, error varieties are sought after for their rarity and unique characteristics. Types of errors found on the 1972 D Washington quarter: die cracks and die chips. Die cracks or chips generally don't add significant value unless they are particularly large or prominent, but they can still be appealing to collectors. Off-center strikes. The value of an off-center error increases with the degree of misalignment, particularly if the date remains visible. Double die errors. Look closely at the inscriptions like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or "Quarter Dollar" for any doubling, as this can add a premium value depending on the prominence. Clipped planchets. The value of these can vary, but larger and more noticeable clips tend to be valued higher. Strike-through errors. These errors can add some value, particularly if the affected area is large or visually interesting. Value of 1972 D error quarters. The value of a 1972 D Washington quarter with an error can range from $500 to $2,000, significantly more, depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Common errors, like minor die chips, may be valued at $10 to $50. More notable errors, such as major off-center strikes or double dies, could fetch $500 to $2,000 or more if in good condition. For precise valuation, having the coin graded by a professional service, such as PCGS or NGC, can help determine its market value. Collectors often seek high-grade examples of error coins, and a coin's condition is critical to its overall worth. The 1973 P Washington quarter is a widely circulated coin from the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike some years, the 1973 quarter does not have particularly notable error varieties that are widely recognized, and most of these quarters are fairly common in circulated condition. However, there are still factors that can make certain 1973 P quarters more appealing to collectors. 1973 P Washington quarter overview. Mintmark. The P mintmark indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, although Philadelphia quarters did not actually bear a mintmark in 1973. Mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced around 346 million quarters in 1973, making it a fairly common issue. Composition. The coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, no silver. Error varieties and special characteristics. While there are no particularly famous error varieties associated with the 1973 P quarter, general types of minting errors may still appear on some examples from this year. Here are a few error types that could be found: die cracks and die chips. Chips don't add much value. Larger and more noticeable die breaks can attract collectors interested in unusual characteristics. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes are errors caused by misalignment during the striking process. If a 1973 P quarter has an off-center strike, particularly if it is significant, it may increase the value. Double die errors. While double die errors are more famous on other coins and years, it's always possible to find minor double die errors in any minting year. Strike-through errors. Sometimes, foreign material like grease or metal shavings can get between the die and planchet during striking, causing areas of the design to be weak or missing. Clipped planchet. A clipped planchet error occurs when a portion of the metal blank is missing before the coin is struck. Clipped planchets are rare but can appear on any coin, including the 1973 P quarter. Value of 1973 P Washington quarters, uncirculated/mint state, high grade, uncirculated examples, MS63 and above, are more desirable to collectors. These can be worth around $10 to $20 depending on grade. Error coins from 1973 vary widely in value. Common errors, like minor die cracks, might sell for $500 to $3,000, while major errors, such as an off-center strike, can fetch between $500 and $1,000 or more depending on severity. To determine the exact value, you may want to have a particularly nice or error-bearing 1973 P quarter professionally graded. The 1974 Washington quarter, like other quarters from the 1970s, was minted in large numbers, making it relatively common in circulated condition. There are no particularly rare or famous errors associated with this year, but high-quality uncirculated examples, as well as certain mint errors, can still attract collector interest. 1974 Washington Quarter Overview. Mint locations and mint marks. Philadelphia, no mint mark, approximately 801 million minted. Denver, D mint mark, approximately 353 million minted. Composition: copper-nickel clad. Notable error varieties for the 1974 Washington quarter. Although 1974 quarters aren't typically known for major errors, various types of minting anomalies can appear, which can increase their value to collectors. Some of the notable error types include die cracks and die chips. While smaller cracks are common and don't add much value, larger die breaks or chips can attract attention. Double die errors. A true double die error, if prominent, would increase the coin's value. Off-center strikes. The value increases with the degree of misalignment, especially if the date is still visible. These errors are popular among collectors and can fetch $200 to $500 or more depending on the degree of off-centering. Clipped planchet. Clipped planchet errors vary in size and value, with larger clips typically worth more. Strike-through errors, with larger or more unusual examples being valued higher. Value of 1974 Washington quarters. Uncirculated/mint state, high-grade uncirculated examples can be worth $10 to $20 depending on quality. In MS65 or higher grades, they could be worth around $50 to $100. Error coins. The value of 1974 error quarters varies widely based on the type and severity of the error. Minor errors like small die cracks may only add a small premium, while significant off-center strikes, major die breaks, or dramatic strike-throughs could increase the value to $1,000 or more. For any high-grade or error-bearing 1974 quarter, professional grading can help verify its authenticity and potentially increase its resale value. The 1974 D Washington quarter, minted in Denver, is common in circulated condition and holds no silver content, as it is composed of a copper-nickel clad. However, high-quality uncirculated examples, as well as certain mint errors, can make it more interesting to collectors. 1974 D Washington Quarter Overview. Mint mark, D, Denver. Mintage, approximately 353 million, making it a common issue. Composition, copper-nickel clad, no silver. Collectible qualities and error varieties. While the 1974 D quarter is generally common, certain types of mint errors can increase its value. Below are some error types that might be found on this coin: die cracks and die chips. While smaller cracks or chips don't usually add much value, larger or unique patterns may interest collectors. Double die errors, for any signs of doubling. True double dies can add a premium, though they're rare. Off-center strikes. These errors can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500 or more, especially if the date is still visible. Clipped planchet, and it can increase the coin's value depending on its size and shape. Strike-through errors. These can vary in value, especially if the strike-through is prominent or affects a notable area of the design. Value of 1974 D Washington quarters. Uncirculated/mint state. In uncirculated or high mint state grades, MS63 or higher, a 1974 D quarter can be valued around $10 to $20. In top grades like MS65 or above, it may be worth $50 to $100 or more. Error coins. Error coins from 1974, such as off-center strikes or significant die cracks, can sell for $1,000 to $3,000 or more depending on the type and visibility of the error. For any high-quality or error-bearing 1974 D quarter, professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC can provide authentication and may enhance its value for collectors. The 1977 D Washington quarter, minted at the Denver Mint, is another example of a coin from the 1970s that is common in circulated condition. The 1977 quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning it has no silver content. While the quarter is relatively easy to find in most conditions, there are still certain factors that can make specific coins more collectible or valuable, particularly if they feature errors or are in high grades. 1977 D Washington Quarter Overview. Mint mark, D, Denver Mint. Mintage, approximately 421 million, making it a common issue. Composition, copper-nickel clad, no silver content. Error varieties and special features. Though not famous for specific types of errors, certain minting anomalies may still be found on the 1977 D quarter. Collectors often look for the following error varieties: die cracks and die chips. While these errors don't generally increase the coin's value significantly, larger or more prominent die cracks may attract collectors. Off-center strikes, particularly if a significant portion of the design is missing. These errors are typically worth $100 to $500, and the value increases if the date is still partially visible. Clipped planchets. The value of clipped planchets can vary based on the size of the clip, with larger clips generally adding more value. Doubled die errors. While doubled die errors are more famous on coins like the 1955 Lincoln cent, they can still occur on other coins. These errors are generally rare but can command a premium if noticeable. Strike-through errors. This can sometimes create an unusual look for the coin, and depending on the severity, it could make the coin more valuable. Value of 1977 D Washington Quarters. Significant numismatic value in everyday circulation. Uncirculated/mint state. In high grades, MS63 and above, a 1977 D quarter may be worth $5 to $15, depending on the quality of the coin. In gen quality grades, MS65 or higher, these quarters can be worth $25 to $50 or more. Error coins like off-center strikes, major die cracks, or clipped planchets can increase in value, with error examples ranging anywhere from $700 to $5,500, and even higher for more dramatic or rare errors. If you believe you have an error coin or a high-grade 1977 D quarter, it's always a good idea to have it graded by a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Grading can authenticate the coin's value and make it more appealing to serious collectors. The 1977 Washington quarter minted without a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, is quite common, as the mint issued over 130 million of them that year. Like other quarters from the era, it was struck in copper-nickel clad, with no silver content. While the 1977 Philadelphia Mint quarter is a rare, it can commonly be of interest to collectors, especially if in high quality or if it exhibits minting errors. 1977, no mint mark, Washington quarter overview. Mint mark, no mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Mintage, approximately 130.5 million, making it a common coin. Composition, copper-nickel clad, with no silver. Error varieties and collectible features. While the 1977 Philadelphia quarters are not particularly famous for specific errors, collectors may still find value in examples with minting anomalies or those in exceptional grades. Some potential error types to look out for include die cracks and die chips. Though these errors are typically not highly valuable, larger or more prominent die cracks could be of interest to collectors. Off-center strikes, with larger off-center errors potentially fetching between $100 and $500, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Clipped planchets, these can range in value, with larger clips being more valuable and attracting higher prices. Double die errors. Though rare, a double die error can occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned. If the doubling is significant and noticeable, the coin could be worth more than a standard quarter. Value of 1977, no mint mark, Washington quarters. Uncirculated/mint state. In mint state, MS, condition, the value of the 1977 quarter increases. In grades of MS63 to MS64, they can be worth around $10 to $20. In higher mint state grades, MS65 and above, a well-preserved 1977 quarter could be worth between $20 and $50, with especially well-graded examples potentially fetching slightly more. Error coins. Errors like off-center strikes or clipped planchets can increase the value of the 1977 quarter. In general, these error coins could be worth anywhere from $500 to $2,250 or more, depending on the rarity and prominence of the error. Highly dramatic errors with visible parts of the design missing or unusual minting characteristics may attract higher bids. For any high-grade or error-bearing 1977 Philadelphia quarter, it's a good idea to get the coin graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC.